from every angle. So I'm gonna shine, 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 shine like the 4th of July. It doesn't matter who I am, 'cause I'm always enough. And the search for myself doesn't mean I'm messed up. So I'll make it to the world and the stars up above. Please don't run out of love. Stand up. Please don't run out of love. Don't give up. Please don't run out of love. Stay focused. Please don't run out of love. Don't give up. Please don't run out of love. Don't give up. I'm me, I'm real, I'm true every day. I'm beautiful in every way. I'm love, I'm light inside and out. I'm a human being who's queer and proud. I'm me, I'm real, I'm true every day. I'm beautiful in every way. I'm love, I'm light inside and out. I'm a human being who's queer and doesn't matter who I am, 'cause I'm always enough. And the search for myself doesn't mean I'm messed up. So I'll make it to the world and the stars up above. Please don't run out of love. Stand up. Please don't run out of love. Don't give up. Please don't run out of love. Stay focused. Please don't run out of love. Don't give up. Please don't run out of love. 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 Out of love. My heart is a rainbow, it goes where the rain goes. You'll see my true colors from every angle. So I'm gonna shine, 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 shine like the 4th of July. It doesn't matter.
Hi, I'm Kathy Edwards, she, her. I currently serve as Secretary and Vice Chair of Inside Out Youth Services Board, and I could not be more honored to welcome you to Ally Up 2021, Access, Equity, and Power. This event required a lot of talent and support, and I'd like to thank the Inside Out staff, our amazing volunteers, the hardworking volunteers, the board members, our watch party hosts, and of course the Inside Out young people. Ally Up 2021 is presented by Michael Grage and family, T. Rowe Price Foundation, and the Colorado Health Foundation, with support from Diversus Health, United Court of Pikes Peak Empire, and End Credit Union. Additional support has also been provided by Mary Langlois, Academy Mortgage, Maggie Turner, Springs Homes, Brit Films, Icons, Design Rangers, Ladyfingers Letterpress, and T. Rowe Price. And if you're wondering how to share photos showing your allyship for these young people tonight, you can post photos using hashtag AllyUp. We look forward to seeing all of your photos. And now I'd love to introduce you to our Ally Up host, Renee Skinner. You may recognize her from KOAA News Channel 5. Welcome to the Inside Out studio stage, Renee Skinner.
Oh my goodness, Kathy, thank you so much. That was a wonderful welcome, and I want to thank every one of you. My name is Renee Skinner, and welcome to Ally Up. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm excited, so excited to be your host for tonight. Now, I found out about Inside Out one day when I was hunting for a story to report on. My boss had said, I need something different out of you. And so when he said something different, I couldn't help but think of myself as a 32-year-old Black bisexual woman. I couldn't help but think about what organization is out there that supports people who look like me, who think like me, who feel like me. What organization is out there? So I did a quick Google search, and Inside Out came right up, and the rest is just history. And I must say, just to give you some honesty and some perspective, for the first time ever, I've been able to say that I am a bisexual, 32-year-old, Black, quirky woman. Woo! Yeah. I've been able to say that out loud. And I'm here to tell all our young people that you should not have to wait 32 years old to speak and live your truth out loud. And that's why we need organizations like Inside Out here on the grounds working with you young people. So kudos to all of you. And I do want to offer a big thank you to Anthem Music Enterprises. They created the song Rainbow. That was the song you just heard before the show started. And this song was written specifically for Inside Out Youth Services after they won the Impact Anthem giveaway by Anthem Music Enterprises during the 2020 Give campaign. So it's a beautiful song, and we thank you, Anthem. We thank you for that beautiful, beautiful song. All right. Now, I'd like for you to join me in acknowledging the land we are on with this message from Wynette, she, her, one of our dear supporters, and Hanobi, he, him, who happens to be an Inside Out alum.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for participating in this year's Inside Out Ally Up event. I'm Wynette Tasker. I am Lumbee and Eastern Band of Cherokee, and this is my son,
Hanobi Schoonover. I'm an alumni of Inside Out, and I'm also Lumbee and Eastern Band of Cherokee. We are honored to be here with you today providing a land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that the land on which Colorado Springs stands is the homeland and unceded historical territory on which many Native American tribes reside.
The Utes are the longest continuous indigenous inhabitants of what we call Colorado. Over 48 federally recognized sovereign nations, including the Kiowa, Comanche, Cheyenne, Arapaho, and Apache, all have historic ties here and continue to foster their relationships with the land.
We recognize that many members of these tribes continue to be the dedicated stewards of their sacred homelands, protecting the earth, water, plants, and animals that call Colorado their home.
We acknowledge that Indigenous people continue to contribute to the culture of the Pikes Peak area, as currently members of over 100 tribes are living and thriving in this area. We encourage you to attend powwows to learn more.
Thank you, Inside Out, for providing advocacy to many LGBT+ youth who are purposely targeted for harm. And thank all of you for providing your time and support to this great organization.
All righty. Well, thank you so much for leading us in this acknowledgement. At this point, I'd like to welcome someone so talented, Leo Nova, to the Inside Out studio stage to perform You Will Be Found from the musical Dear Evan Henson.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear? Like you could fall and no one would hear? Well, let that lonely feeling wash away. Maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. 'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand. And oh, someone will come running, oh, to take you home. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around, you will be found. You will be found. and all is new. All is new. It's filling up the empty, and suddenly I see that all is new. All is new. You are not alone. 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 Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around. You will be found. 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 You will be found.
Those gorgeous notes. You know what? I'm not even gonna try. I will break all our equipment if I were to try and do that. All right. And there's a lot more where that came from, by the way. For those of you who have waited to get to our after party tickets, there's still time to join us at Icons at 8 p.m. That's right, tonight. And maybe you can catch Leo live while you were there and see him hitting all those high notes like he just did. All right. So I'd like to welcome Kathy back to the Inside Out Studios stage to reveal Inside Out's new mission and vision.
Thank you. Growing up in a very religious household, I didn't have any space like Inside Out to support and help me figure things out. I joined the board because I want to help this generation feel safe at school, know that they're not wrong for being queer, and have an opportunity to thrive in their relationships, in their communities, and in their careers. I joined this board because this is the type of work Inside Out is doing for young people every day. Earlier this year, I had the privilege of joining an amazing group of people to conduct a strategic review and plan the future of Inside Out. And during this process, we interviewed nearly 70 youth, caregivers, school administration, partner organizations, funders, donors, and supporters like yourselves. And during this exercise, I learned that we need to continue broadening our perspective for inclusion. And that is why I am so proud to announce Inside Out Youth Services' updated mission is to build access, equity, and power with LGBTQIA2+ youth, young people, to inspire a vision in our community and in the lives of everyone who interacts with this organization. Wholeness inside and out. And our big, bold goal is that every school in the Pikes Peak region is inclusive. This work is so important. These young people need us. They need a safe space. They need trusted adults, supportive connections, and the ability to express their feelings. Child Kathy wishes she had access to an organization with this mission. And it is a powerful feeling to help create a safe space so that today's youth will have a chance to figure things out for themselves.
Awesome, awesome. Kathy, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. That was so empowering. And you're right, places like Inside Out are so important, not just because of the work that the organization does for youth inside its center, but also because of the work it does outside in the community as well. And right now, we're going to watch a segment on the importance of the work outside with some of the founders of the Safe at Schools Coalition and some partners who share in the vision of Inside Out's work.
Thank you so much for participating today in Inside Out's Alley Up event, and we're so excited that you're here. As individuals, as small business owners, as family here in Colorado Springs, we just have found how critically important it is for all of us to stand together and to not only be seen as a group, but also to celebrate one another and celebrate all that we're building and changing here in our community to really make Colorado Springs what we want to see it be.
There will always be a need for the Safe at School Coalition. I hope somebody proves me wrong with that, but it's a continual, infinite fight, actually. And we have to stay in it, and we have to be building coalitions.
It's the adults and it's the kids, it's everybody working together.
We don't need to always be the ones leading the work, but I think we have to be good coalition partners to others in our community. And I think that the coalition and Inside Out are experts about LGBTQ young people.
Our partnership with Inside Out Youth Services allows us to educate and empower young queer people to reach their full potential and to take part in conversations that they've been excluded from, so that they can take full control of their sexual health and advocate for themselves. We love you, Inside Out.
Empowering the students themselves is key, it's huge. And as important as it is to help educate those in support roles when it comes to working with students, it's important for students to know their rights, and that's one thing that Inside Out Youth Services and the Safe at Schools Coalition does.
Sometimes it's establishing that relationship with the student to say, you need to use your voice. Right, and you can't be afraid of using your own voice.
Youth have to be at the table. We're doing this work with them and on behalf of them, right?
Inside Out Youth Services is just naturally the space where people can celebrate one another and also be able to confide in one another and talk about the common challenges that they're having.
A lot of students that I have worked with look to their educators and look to their mentors in the educational system. They look to them for guidance, they look to them for love and support. And when that's not available or accessible at home, then it becomes even more important for students to have that in another place.
Inside Out stands for change, fights for change, and moves forward for change.
All right, I don't know about you, but I was so inspired by the work this coalition does and the staff who help make our schools safer for our young people. And I'm really excited to introduce our next speaker. She will be reading a poem she curated with Inside Out staff to capture who the staff are to these young people. Yes, indeed. I'd like to welcome to the Inside Out studio stage the Pikes Peak region's own poet extraordinaire, Ashley Cornelius.
Expression. We replace shame with revolutionary celebration. Our cups are filled with joy, the joy of release and elation, and the joy of naming the complex parts. Watch as we shed and are reborn in light. May our collective healing leave seeds among our path and birth inspiration. Our existence is saving lives. Watch us close. See how we close our eyes in rest. Claim it for those forced away. Copy our dedication to me, to we, to you, to us, in community, in service to ourselves and others, to shouting, to being sledgehammer loud, remembering to hold each other in grace and humanity. We believe in this work. We believe in this community. We believe inside and out of us.
Bravo. Bravo, bravo, Ashley. That was wonderful. Well said indeed. And something you might not know is during the strategic planning process you heard Kathy speak about tonight, the committee asked what Inside Out's best kept secret is. Well, the number one response was the staff. And I can tell you from the work the organization does and the staff that are here that I've connected with, that Inside Out has an amazing team. And I want to make sure it is not a secret anymore. Now that we have caught a glimpse of what Inside Out does out in the community, it's time to learn about the work Inside Out does inside the center and in the lives of young people this organization serves. So we are excited to share with you Marshall Seidel's story. Take a look.
My name is Marshall. I'm 18 and my pronouns are they, them, or he, him. Growing up in Indiana was really difficult, more so as a transgender person and a gay person. I didn't go to a conversion camp, but I was recommended to a therapist. He treated me like I had just some severe behavioral issues. He told my mom to push pink and to push the assigned gender at birth. My childhood was spent a lot of the time by myself, it felt, because no one really understood how to deal with me. They just thought that I was autistic. I was bullied a lot, and that led to a lot of self-harming behaviors that really affected my eating when I was younger and still today. I grew up thinking that being trans was the issue, and it's not. It's just how people have treated me because I am transgender. I have learned to not apologize for that and to not be less than transgender. Inside Out at the time, and I'm gonna be honest, to me, I did not get it at all. So you walk into a place that is like very liberal and very open and open-minded and friendly and welcoming, and it's just like, I had a lot of anxiety. I had a panic attack. Inside Out especially has given me that opportunity to not only do better and be better, but to just be me and do my thing. Even if I'm quiet in a corner or playing the piano or I'm listening to music or I'm on the computer or just somewhere in the room. Inside Out has taught me that it's okay to not know everything about the community or anything, and to just sit and watch people be themselves and to not rain on other people's parades, because they were all in my shoes too. Now I can say that I am in the shoes of other people who are learning to love themselves within their queer identity, and that means a lot to me. I want to do social work and work with people in the community. I really, really, really want to see a connection between the Black community and the trans community specifically. I think that we need to do better. I think we can. I know we can. everyone should donate to Inside Out and support Inside Out, because Inside Out isn't just about youth, and it's not just about people who are in the queer community, it's about everyone.
Well, isn't it so powerful to see how Inside Out builds the confidence of these young people, gives them a place to grow, make connections, learn about themselves and their peers, and shows up accepting. Well, we all want to feel loved and accepted. And speaking of love and acceptance, I am delighted to welcome Inside Out's own Executive Director, Jesse Pocock, to the Inside Out studio stage to talk to us about what it means to create a loving and accepting community.
Happy Ally Up, everyone. Jesse Pocock, it's the honor of my life to be the Executive Director of Inside Out Youth Services. And generally, I like to deliver like a state of the organization at Ally Up, but this year I want to do something different because you can find this gorgeous like annual report on our website and you can learn all about the incredible work that we do. But this year I thought I'd actually just sort of tell you, oh, I got to quit playing with my hair. Is that, oh, there we go. All right, my bad. It's always a problem. This year I thought I'd just sort of tell you some of the experiences I've had with our young people over the last several years. So our new mission is to build access, equity, and power with LGBTQIA2+ young people. And our vision is wholeness, inside and out. So number one, access. A few years ago, I was here at this center, and I think like 3 young people showed up at the door, and they were here early, and that happens. And we just opened the door. I figure it's a good thing when like young people are showing up at a sober space, and we ought to let them in. And they were so pumped to be here. They were like, this is the gayest place we've ever been. This is so fun. And I found out through conversations why it was the first time that they had ever landed at Inside Out. When one of them was telling me that they happen to be trans and that their family is full of anti-trans activists. So that's what their home environment looks like. So it isn't typical for them to get to Inside Out. And I didn't see them again. I always hope that coming into a space like Inside Out, even just one time, can make a difference forever. And it's been my experience in talking to people who came to Inside Out just once that occurs. But I will also say that when we opened a virtual community center, it was my hope that I'd see them online. Because now there was this additional line of access they could have that wasn't about coming downtown. That they didn't have to worry about the threat of their parents finding out. I haven't connected with them yet, but I still hope. Equity. So another time I was with a group of young people through our YAC, our Youth Advisory Council, and they were doing a presentation on suicide prevention in the LGBTQIA2+ community. And in this presentation, in the middle of it, a person raised their hand, a religious man, and said, hey, what do you all think about this new notion in the religious community, in my community, that it's okay to be gay as long as you're celibate? And I was like, I can't believe he just asked that. And I was having emotional reactions because I'm human. And immediately in my heart and in my mind, I just felt like, but don't these young people deserve the right to have fulfilling relationships just like everybody else? And so of course I was ready. And what ended up happening is the young people did something I didn't expect. And they were all like, hey, at our center, we have this really cool rule, and it's called Don't Yuck My Yum. So if that's what you believe, we won't yuck it. That's your business. And we play by the rule like, but this is like our things, and so you can't yuck our yum. And it was such a beautiful moment. It was beyond what I could have expected for myself. They were re-envisioning a new world of wholeness. Power. So imagine going to the Gold Dome, which is, of course, the capital of the state of Colorado, and I'm with a few young people. One of them is here tonight. And so we're going up to the Capitol to testify on behalf of comprehensive sexual education. And the reason we're doing that is because the bill proposed is one that includes LGBTQIA2+ identities. So there's two provisions in this bill being proposed. One is that you can't shame these young people in your curriculum. Can you imagine that we have to have a bill that says you can't shame young people when you're teaching them about sexual education? Well, that's one of the provisions. And then the next one is you have to be inclusive. So you cannot provide this curriculum without providing it for these young people. And so imagine we're in this room and there's like hundreds of people, and you have the panel of like legislators at the front, and we're at the front of the room, and there's like 100 people behind us, and they're people that are there because they're in opposition to the bill. And the reason they're in opposition to the bill isn't because it's about sex ed, it's because it's about inclusion for these young people. So I can just feel it, like I can feel it on my back, and I keep checking in with the young people, like, worried, because we have to hear opposition testimony while we're there, and the messages these people were carrying were like hurtful. And so I just keep looking over, and I just keep seeing smiles, and I'm like, I don't get it, And then here is this 15-year-old holding up this like tie-dyed bandana, and it happened to be the month for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And so we did a group activity at Inside Out for a Love is Respect campaign, and our young people tie-dyed these bandanas and wrote messages of love on it for this campaign. And so on this bandana, that seriously, this 15-year-old is just standing like this the whole time I'm presenting testimony. And it says like love is kindness, like love is openness, like love is trust, and of course, love is queer. And this young person is getting ready to present that to the bill sponsors. And so we go through the testimony. I don't remember what I said. Of course, I was a nervous mess. And he's super proud to be there, and he hands over this bandana. And then on the way home, I'm doing what I do, which is like, okay, I gotta lecture now. I gotta be the responsible ED and be like, oh, you know what they were saying? Like, that wasn't true. You know that who you are is good. You know that you're perfect. And they listened respectfully, and then they were like, yeah, but like how cool it was to be up there. And like, they're so excited because they found their power. They found their voice because they were advocating for themselves and their friends at the Capitol. And of course, that bill ended up passing, and it was super, super meaningful. What does a community of wholeness look like? To show up in all of your identities, affirmed, respected, appreciated, adored, uplifted, celebrated. I sometimes need the things to remind me. Inside out, inside a state of being, an acknowledgement, a feeling, an emotion, a knowing, a trusted adult, a gender-affirming clothing closet, an all-gender restroom, an adult's office you can go into and open your backpack and say, I don't know how to sort this. Can you help me sort this? Out. Locker rooms, the soccer field, your school, your churches, your government officials, your city government. Visibility, seeing a lawmaker or a leader that's part of your community, seeing a future that you could live into in adults in your community. I say this a lot. It is not enough to have one place where you can be whole. It's not enough. And that's why we ally up, because we are creating a community of wholeness. And when you contribute to Inside Out Youth Services, you are creating that wholeness. You are creating greater access. So a young person whose parents are working on anti-trans advocacy can have more access to a space like Inside Out Youth Services where they come and immediately know they're home. You are working towards equity so that a young person can go into a school and get education about their bodies. That helps them build health, build wellness, and saves their life. Power. You are giving platforms for young people to use their voice in the service of a community that we don't even know yet, because it hasn't been created. But I can tell you, no doubt, when I come to Inside Out Youth Services in the middle of a pandemic and I see how these young people come together and they power forward, I am not worried about our future, because they are going to be the ones powering it forward. Thank you so much to everybody who pitches in the service of our young people. Thank you to my staff, that's brilliant, our board that works like all these Fridays and all this overtime and all these other things to be sure that we can be a stronger organization, our volunteers, our young people, our community members, our allies. We literally can't do it without you. So thank you so much for joining us in our vision of wholeness inside and out.
My word, I felt powerful just listening to that. Thank you so much, Jessie. All right. And so I just received a bit of breaking news. I was just told that we have gathered $62,000 worth of donations, and we are so close to a goal of $100,000. So we got to keep that coming. And so I would like to welcome to the Inside Out studio stage up next, Olivia Stellick, to tell us how we can contribute to this vision of wholeness and the critical programs Inside and Out delivers to our community and its young people every day.
Good evening, y'all. I am so excited to be here. I can't even tell you. It is the honor of my life to do this work with you. I'm not sure that there's actually anything left for me to say after Jessie. I mean, she pretty much covered it all, but I'm gonna try anyway because that's what I do. My name's Olivia, and I'm currently on active duty as a physical therapist and officer in the United States Army. And I'm an out trans queer chick. And let me tell you that combination is some kind of trippiness. It has been a wild, amazing ride, and I am so happy to be here. I, like many folks that you've heard from tonight, grew up in a far-right, conservative, Christian, evangelical, religious, military family. I was homeschooled until I went to college at West Point. We didn't have a TV growing up in my house, like not even a physical TV, because when it broke, my parents were like, we don't need that anymore, when I was like 6. We didn't have the internet because I'm old, and also for the same reasons. I didn't know what being trans was. I didn't have access to the media, and even if I had, there wasn't that. There weren't out trans people in any kind of public, worldwide way. I just knew that when I went to bed every night, I wanted to wake up in a different family as a girl, as myself. But that's not real life, you know? Like, that's a fantasy, that's make-believe. You can't just do that. I didn't have access to the media. I didn't have queer affirming adults in my life. And so I didn't know. That just wasn't a real thing. And like you've heard tonight, my story isn't special. It's not unique, right? You heard from Marshall and from Kathy that so many folks grow up in that environment where it's not okay or where they just didn't know. And you would think that with it being 2021, that it would be different now, right? That this would all be fine and good. But like you heard Jessie talk about, we're still having to fight about this in court and in Congress. And there are people that still think that we're wrong for being queer, right? That there's something wrong with our kids. Kids, there is nothing wrong with you. Y'all are perfect.
Yeah.
Someone in my trans military community recently asked if any of us stopped identifying as trans after we kind of finished transitioning, whatever that means. And I understood the question, like this desire to just be male or be female, not to identify as a trans woman or a trans man. And I get that, I really do, I do. But for me, the answer is always going to be a loud and emphatic no, that I will always be out as a trans woman. Because the one thing, or perhaps what I think is maybe the most significant thing that's different now compared to when I was a kid, is the sheer number of queer adults who are out publicly in the world, in the media, on social media, in sports, in professional life, in business, in entertainment. They're everywhere, and they're living their whole, full, queer, authentic selves. The magic of Inside Out is not just that it's a safe place where kids can be themselves. It's that it's a safe space that's created and imagined and dreamed up and run by and curated by queer adults who are living into their whole authentic selves and modeling that for our young people. Inside Out isn't special just because it's life-saving, although it is life-saving. Inside Out is life-giving. The folks at Inside Out are fostering an environment and creating a world, yes, literally creating a world where we are all valued and loved and accepted for exactly who we are, for the things that make us special and unique, for the magic that we bring to the world. If you're here with us tonight, it's because you believe in us. It's because you believe in Inside Out. It's because you love these kids and you believe in them. I want you to stop for just a second and think about that. I want you to ponder that and consider it. The work that Inside Out does is impossible without you. And without me, and without all of us, right? Without all of us coming together. Our goal tonight is to raise $100,000 for Inside Out, right? To do this work, because the work takes money, right? And we've talked all night about how magical the world could be if we all had the encouragement and support to be ourselves. And you heard Renee say earlier that we've raised $62,000. But I want to encourage you that whatever you thought you could give before you were here tonight, I want you to double it, or triple it, or 5 times, or 10 times. Because that's what we're doing, right? That's the magic of all of us coming together. And it takes all of us, and all of our efforts, and our time, and our resources. So, I also need this sometimes. At this point, you can text Ally Up, one word, space, followed by the amount you'd like to donate, to 1-844-758-1120. Again, that's Ally Up, one word, space, followed by the amount you'd like to donate, to 1-844-758-1120. You can also donate online at www.insideoutysforyouthservices.org/AllyUp. There are options to make a one-time donation tonight or to be a recurring monthly donor. $30 a month allows a year's worth of access to Inside Out's programs for a young person. $100 a month funds their transportation to and from Inside Out, or to wellness visits, or to other activities off-site. $500 a month covers the hard costs for events like Queer Prom. And who doesn't love Queer Prom, right? One last time, as a reminder, you can text Ally Up, space, followed by the amount you'd like to donate, to 1-844-758-1120, or online at www.insideoutysforyouthservices.org/AllyUp. Thank you so much for being here, y'all.
Yes, indeedy. That was awesome. Thank you so much, Olivia, and thank you all for joining us tonight for for contributing rather to this important cause and for allying up for LGBTQIA2+ young people. We hope to see you, of course, at the after party. But before we close, I do want to thank our season sponsors one more time. We've got to give it up for Michael Grage and family, T. Rowe Price Foundation, the Colorado Health Foundation with support from Diversus Health, United Court of the Pikes Peak Empire, Ent Credit Union, and additional support by Mary Langlois Academy Mortgage, Maggie Turner, Springs Homes, Brit Films, Icons, of course, Design Rangers, Ladyfingers Letterpress, and again, T. Rowe Price. So we also want to acknowledge our watch party hosts who brought in their friends and family and loved ones and allies together to view the program tonight. And we do want to hear some of these parties, what they had to say, who helped raise money in support of our young people. And so I suppose we're going to be hearing about the, oh, no, okay, see, I too need paper. So we're going to skip that part rather. And we're going to move on to now Leo Nova. He has hit the stage again, and he is going to close us out with Roar by Katy Perry.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I sat quietly, agreed politely. I guess that I forgot I had a choice and let you push me past the breaking point. I stood for nothing, so I fell for everything. You held me down, but I got up. Already brushing off the dust. You hear that voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, cause I've had enough. You hear it all, I see it now. I got the eye of the tiger, a fighter, dancing through the fire. Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna keep me roar. Louder, louder than a lion. Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna keep me roar. You're gonna keep me roar. So I'm floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. I earned my stripes. I went from 0 to my own hero. You held me down, but I got up. Already brushing off the dust. You hear that voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, cause I've had enough. You see it all, I see it now. I got the eye of the tiger, a fighter, dancing through the fire. Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. Louder, louder than a lion. Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. You're gonna hear me roar. Oh, you're gonna hear me roar. Dancing through the fire. Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. Louder, louder than a lion. Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. Oh, you're gonna hear me roar.
myself doesn't mean I'm messed up. So I'm begging to the world and the stars up above.